So it's been a few days since we've made it back from our trip to Randolph Air Force Base in Texas, and we've had a few moments to reflect on why we had to go. So one of those things is we just want to say that life is precious, so enjoy it with each moment that you get and spend as much time with your family and your friends as you can. So if you made it to the end of this video, we thank you for watching both part 1 and part 2. If you didn't see part 1, you missed out on it, so go back and check it out. Until then, we'll see you next time. And please do like, subscribe, and comment. Peace. All right, we're starting to get ready to head back to Georgia. We're leaving with 87% range. That says 403 miles of range, but that's not true. We've been riding around in town, so the efficiency has been very, very good. Our first stop is going to be to Baytown, Texas, which is going to be a little over 3 hours. From there, we're going to Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, then over to Pass Christian over in Alabama. That'll be our deep dive. That'll be our deep dive at Pass Christian. Then we'll head into Auburn, Alabama. That'll be our last charge, and then that will take us on into Dublin. So it looks like it's about 18 hours. So we'll see. All right, let's roll. All right, so we have made it to the Tesla superchargers here in Baytown, Texas at the Buc-ee's. We are at the 325 kilowatt chargers. And so we are going to plug in here, get us a quick charge. Our next stop will be Beaubricks, Louisiana. And on this one, this leg was 202 miles, and it took us 3 hours and 12 minutes, and we had an overall efficiency of 328 watt hours per mile. So that was a pretty good leg. So let me get plugged in here, and we will see how long we need to be here. If I remember correctly, it's only going to be about 10 minutes or so. So we'll be right back with you. All right, so we arrived in Baytown with 24% state of charge. It says our next route, which is going to take us to Beau Bridge, sorry, Louisiana. It says it's 199 miles. Says it's going to take us 3 hours and 21 minutes. However, on this route, man, I was able to knock off 8 minutes from the time frame that it said that we were supposed to be here. So as we get into Louisiana, the speeds are going to drop a little bit, which is probably why it's taking us a little bit longer. But anyway, it says it wants us to go to 89% state of charge. I'm not sure that that is going to be correct, but we'll look and see. Says we need 199 miles of range, and right now we are sitting at 98 miles of range. So I'm gonna go in to Buc-ee's. I've already dropped my wife off so she can use the restroom. So we're gonna go in. I'm going to go in and use the restroom, and when we come back out, we'll see where we're at.
We are in Baytown, Buc-ee's, somewhere between Houston and Beaumont, Texas. Our first stop of the night before we get back on the road. We are charged up at how many kilowatts?
Can't tell right now. I have to get in and see. But
You would guess.
the interesting thing at this point, probably about, because we've been here for a minute, we're probably somewhere between 120 and 140. But the interesting thing about this location is we have a combination of V3 and V2 chargers. So we have elected, of course, to hit the V3 chargers, and you've got 4 of them that are offline right there. But back in the backside over there, up against the road, we've got the V2 stall. So let's get inside and see what we're doing, and see how much longer we're gonna be here.
Right.
Yep. All right. So we are going to get out of here. We have added from 22% to 68%. Says we will reach our next destination with 25% state of charge. So we are going to get out of here. We are headed to Beau Bridge, Louisiana, and we're going to an Electrify America with 350 kilowatts, and then we have a couple of bailouts between here and there if we need. So we are going to go ahead and make tracks. we've made it to our second charging stop. We're at Lafayette, Louisiana. And again, this is another V2 and V3 combination of chargers. So of course we're gonna plug into the V3 deal to get 325 kilowatts. We got a couple of Model 3s and a Tesla Cybertruck over here. So we're gonna plug in here, walk across the street to Chick-fil-A and use the restroom. It's a little early for me to eat, but my wife may want something to eat right now. But we're gonna get plugged in here and then head across the way. And we'll come back and see what we got for the next little trip, next little flight. But this part of the trip was 191 miles. It took us 2 hours and 56 minutes. And we averaged 298 kilowatts, watt hours, 298 watt hours per mile, and an average of 65 miles an hour. All right, so we are here in Lafayette, Louisiana, and it says we need to go to 75% to get to our next charging station, and that will take us 24 minutes. So we're at a V3. We are ramping up, and we are at 203 kilowatts. So we're going to go grab something to eat maybe for my wife and use the restroom, and we will be back and see where we stand. All right, and just like that, we have completed our charging stops. We were here for approximately 25 minutes, and we went from 13% to 75%. We added over 205 miles to the battery pack. So at 75%, it tells us that we have 262 miles to go. So let's reset for our next session. And we are out of here. So we are headed to Pass Christian. It's 172 miles. Says it should take us 2 hours and 36 minutes. So let's roll. we are here in Pass Christian. Says we're going to be here for 7 minutes. That will get us to Atmore, Alabama at the Wynn Casino. So we've got 2 more charging stations left. So instead of taking a real deep charge where they wanted us to be here for 45 minutes, what I did is just broke it up. So we'll hit about 7 to 10 minutes here, just long enough for us to go in and use the bathroom, come back out, and then we'll be on our way to Atmore, Alabama. So as you can see, we are ramping up. We came in at about 15% state of charge. This particular session, we did I have to get our mileage and stuff in the last time, but I think it was about 180 miles. Might not have been that much, but we were only riding about 2 hours, so we'll be out of here in a few minutes. So I didn't get to do our charging stats at our Atmore location, but we only needed to be there 6 minutes, but I ended up running my mouth with a fellow veteran about his Model 3 that he just picked up, and we way overcharged. So anyway, we are now getting ready to leave Atmore, Alabama, and we are at 74% state of charge, and so we're gonna head to Buc-ee's in Auburn, and we should get there in about 2 hours. We should get there in about 2 hours. We'll have 23%, and that'll be our final stop before we make it back to Dublin. And so I'm going to take me a little 2-hour power nap real quick and get up and finish it up, and we will finish this 1,000-mile, almost 1,100-mile trek. And it says right now that we should get home about 6:38, and that's about what time it said we would get in. Actually, it said we would get home about 6:45, so I've actually been able to shave off about 7 minutes. And I know in the grand scheme of things, you know, an almost 1,100-mile road trip, knocking off 7 minutes is not a thing, but you know, anyway. So anyway, we're headed north now, and we'll catch up with you in a bit. All right, so we are here at Mercedes charging at the Buc-ee's supercharger. So let's see if the plug and charge works. Yeah, I think. Start charging. Yeah, I think we gotta update our payment information. Let's go inside and see.
68 cents. Text message.
All right, so yep, so our plug and charge isn't working, so I got to figure out what's going on with our plug and charge. So tomorrow when I get up, I'm not gonna worry about it today. We're just gonna finish this last little drive up. But tomorrow when we get up, I will, or at some point tomorrow, I'll try to get a hold of Mercedes Me, which will probably refer us over to charge.
I'm sorry.
To figure out what's up with the plug and charge, because it doesn't do it for this or EA, which I really don't want to do it for EA anyway, because we do the monthly subscription for EA, so it's cheaper for us whenever we charge at EA, so to go through the app. But for Mercedes it doesn't matter. So let's see what we got going on here. So we got 9 minutes to get to 50%, and as you see, we are ripping at 201 kilowatts, 202. So 9 minutes for us to get home. Man, this has been a great trip. So other than the circumstances of why we had to go to San Antonio, the Mercedes, in my opinion, has not disappointed in its ability to road trip from Georgia to Texas, which was almost 1,100 miles there and almost 1,100 miles back. What do you think, my love?
As far as the way it road trip or the ride?
Both.
The ride was a little bumpy in Louisiana, I think.
Yeah, because if we're in at Louisiana roads, yeah.
A lot of construction in San Antonio. Please be advised, they are still working on the bridges. Still have routed around several places. They are still building and still adding on. So just make sure the next time you go, if you happen to go that way, that you anticipate the traffic and construction. All the way in from Dallas, all the way to San Antonio, right?
The other way, Houston
and San Antonio. Thank you so much. Once we left Katy, Buc-ee's in Katy, we started to run into a lot of traffic. But anyway, as far as it getting the charging speeds that he wanted it to get, just it was on point for the most part. Yep. He at one point was driving with the traffic. I will say that. I opened up my eyes. I looked over just like he said. I was driving 70. And he said, "My love, slow down." And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, my love."
Yeah. But I will say this though, as far as our son is coming up to visit us here, as far as the charging and everything done, I mean, the charging in this thing was 100% on point. I mean,
right now
the amount of times that it said it was going to take, the amount of time that it says it was going to take. As a matter of fact, a couple of times when we were charging, it finished charging before we even got back to the car.
Correct. We got into Buc-ee's, came back, it was done, ready to go to the next stop.
Yep. Yeah. There was several times when we only needed 6 or 7 minutes worth of charge.
Yeah,
and there was just no way that we were going to go inside, use the restroom, and come back out. So, but anyway, we're still ripping at 180 kilowatts right now at the Mercedes-Benz 400 kilowatt thing. So we're going to finish this drive up, and then we're going to get home. We've got some other things that we need to talk about.
Right. We have 6 more minutes. Continue to 50%. It says that's what it says. All we need. We're probably going to get a little bit more in the battery pack for a little bit of a buffer. We have 125 miles right now,
and we've got about 210 to go. So we'll be here for a few minutes. But anyway, if you've been with us this long, please like, subscribe, and comment. Stay with us and finish up. And share. We would like to get this video up to 500. You know, we're new YouTubers, and so we've got a few of our videos that are starting to creep up in the views. So let's get this video up to 500 views. And then, by the way, just, you know, give us a shout and let us know where you would like for us to go next. We've got a lot of good content coming out. We're going to be headed back to San Antonio in a couple of weeks. And this time when we go out, we're going to have a Tesla. So we'll be shooting some content with that. Be on the lookout for some of the San Antonio specific content that we filmed while we were in San Antonio this time. And, you know, as we get into the spring and as we get into the summer, we've got a lot of plans for different vehicles that we want to put on the channel and test out and show you guys the capability of what electric life is really like. You know, there's so many different things to like and enjoy about the electric lifestyle. But at any rate, we've got 4 more minutes. I'm going to go over here and chop it up with my oldest son and hang out for a minute. And then I'll give my wife a chance to go in and use the restroom if she needs to go use the restroom.
I just have one last comment.
We'll finish it up.
If you're thinking about the electric life, don't be afraid. Test drive it. Get a hybrid if you need to. Ease yourself into it. But it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Do you need to think about gas? Yes. Do you need to think about where you're going to stop the charge? Yes. Same thing. Same thing as gas. Same thing. I need to stop and get gas. I need to stop and charge the car. No different. By the time I go in, use the bathroom, get some snacks, come back out, I'm done.
All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go chop it up with my son. She's going to run in and use the restroom. And we'll probably do 1 or 2 more clips before the sun goes down. But the next time you see us, we'll be at home. Peace. Yeah, so once again, we've overcharged, sitting here talking to our son who actually works here at the Buc-ee's.
In Auburn.
And so we have charged up to 76%. That gives us 258 miles of range. Our last segment was 291 miles, and we averaged 325 watt hours per mile. So we've got 172 miles to get home. Says we're going to get home at 7:07 p.m. So let's move out.